All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You guys know who this is? This lady right here. You guys know who IFE is? IFE, the diary of a some. I just stumbled into her last week, but then suddenly she started going viral. I literally just followed her last week on Instagram, and she suddenly started to go viral for something she said. Nigerians were not feeling it. You guys know who she is? Diary. Let me see if I can find her page real quick. Diary of a some. A diary of a woman. Auntie B, don't post Toby now. All right, let's leave that alone. Diary of a some. Diary of a. Let me see if I can find it. Diary of a Niger girl. Okay, this is her page here. IFE Agoro, your global girl gang, sharing, laughing, and learning. Meet our community manager. She's the CEO of Dang Lifestyle. Some. Okay, let me see what our last video is about. Let's see.
We've been working on something for a long time, and now we're done. And I'm happy to announce to you that in the Dang community, we have our own special directory. What's in this directory? Numbers, emails, contact persons for different issues that we encounter as we...
Wait, oh, she's advertising. Let's see some of the advices she's been giving. Let's look at
Hi,
this one.
everybody. Today's matter is what we call family affair. Sometimes water is thicker than blood. Let me read the story to you.
Tell
Dear
us.
Ife, growing up, I know my dad to be a very dubious man. He is a land agent and he has gotten into a lot of trouble from selling a piece of land to two different people. Because of this, my mom left him. Yet, he never changed till my mom passed.
All right, let's not change the story. We're talking about you yourself, Ife, today. If you want to go follow her. I've seen her give some really good advice, by the way. But I also hear certain feminism thing in the advices. So, but I usually just tread very carefully. There's nothing wrong with feminism, don't get me wrong. It's basically people's application that can go completely off sometimes. All right. So we're talking about Ife today. We're actually talking about her, not her advice today. So I don't know her well enough. I just want to, let me see what you guys are saying. You guys know her? Bumi says, I know Ife. She has a community and a skincare line. Okay. It's such a crazy concept, especially if there are no children involved. One spouse will be acting like they were adopted by their spouse. So annoying. She looks different from the first picture. Nah, well, PPP. Okay. Depends on the time of the marriage. This marriage was purely based on entertainment. They don't have kids together. Okay. Ife Dang. What is the Dang mean? Oh, the diary of a Nigerian girl is the Dang. Okay, so you know her. Other than for his respect, I don't see why not. Let's see. I'm not a man, so I can't really say. But for his respect, I think not. Okay, that's, you guys are answering the other question from before. Anyway, let's talk about Ife. So it says insider reveals that the alleged reason media personality Ife called off her engagement. Okay, so she called off her engagement, right? But this is what started it all. Ife posted something, I don't know if this was Twitter. She said, because I was going to clock 30 and I don't know who put it in my head that I had to be married at that time and it would be socially unacceptable to be unmarried at 30. When I complained to an older friend that it didn't feel right because not only was I not in love, but I had no rest in my spirit. She said, I'd fall in love inside the marriage, but to never let 30 pass me by. Somebody told her that. Wahala. So I stayed despite the fact that he was a pathological liar and extremely untrustworthy. Okay, let me come to the chat already before we go. Did you guys hear that? This is what started the conversation. Okay, she called it quits on a marriage. You know, I've seen that the freeze tied to somewhere. I didn't watch the video. I've seen it's tied to saying that it is better to, what did he say? It's better to quit a relationship than to quit a marriage. Killer mean. I know what it means. but breakfast is breakfast, okay? Either way, you're breaking up for a real reason that can come back and bite you in the butt if you don't work on it. So it's not as simple as saying it is better to break up earlier than later. Of course it is better, but you're not telling me anything profound. Okay? You're not saying anything profound when you say it's better to break up earlier. Of course it is better. Right? Yes, Sesma, she was on Today's platform. You're right. She was on there, so that could be another reason why she's been going about talking about how her partner was not supportive of her emotional state. That would do it, you know. The table has shaken. See all this silence as meaning. Meanwhile, DF is getting ready to discuss this. Oh, right now? Okay, so what do you think, right? Now, obviously, I don't believe in a magical number here. I do know that you better respect time, okay? Sometimes we call it age, okay? I do know that let's not make this, if you are swimming against nature, be careful, okay? If you are swimming against the trend, the ocean, you better know what you're doing. That's all I can tell you. But time is not anybody's mate. We can't just put time on hold because we said something to ourselves that feels good. Things like, oh yeah, age ain't nothing but a number. Yeah, right, okay? Yeah, right. Age is literally them counting time, okay? Does that mean you should rush into things? No, it doesn't mean that, okay? I would never support that you should rush into it. Does that mean that when you're 30, you should now put an ultimatum on yourself that you must marry? No, you will collect, okay? In fact, even if you're 40, 50, it doesn't matter if you're trying to get married at 70. If that's the point where you've attained that level of maturity and you think you should get married, you should still take your time to get to know the person. All right, now there's some nuances that are different. There's a video that somebody posted in our backstage earlier. I forgot who was that person. Was it Oluremi? Oluremi is always posting. Marriott is always posting too. Somebody posted a Steve Harvey's where these two young couple met each other at 71 and 70, and they're in love, and they were spewing some really, really tight game, right? I think the man lost his wife, and then I don't know if they said she lost her husband too, but they've been married before for a combined of 70 years. They have experience, so it makes sense, right? And then when you're a certain age, of course, your decision may not have to take 2 years or 1 year. It might be 3 months. I think this particular couple was actually about 3 months when they proposed to each other. They know what they're doing. They're grown folks, right? So these are people of certain ages, but ultimately, the point here is that you should not rush into anything because you gave yourself an ultimatum, okay? But there's the flip side of it. There are people using that talking point to say they can just throw their hands in here and say, there's nothing I need to learn. It's not my fault that I'm single at a certain age. If this is a conversation you keep engaging, there's a reason. You should make sure that there's no reason. It's not just about the age. It's just being respectful of time and nature, and there's a reason why that question keeps coming to heart. There are people that it's not a question for them, and they are now problem solved. Abushe bushe. That's fine, right? Because there's nothing written anywhere that you must get married. It's not, you don't have to get married ever. But I don't think it's healthy to be telling everybody that age is not a thing, or to be giving them a magical number, right? When you get to that magical number, with husband and wife just fall out of the skies? No, you're gonna have to do the work regardless of what age is the point. But don't just jump into situation because you are at a certain age. Now, the other side of this conversation that I also want to speak to is that she said, I don't know who put it in my head. Nobody puts it in anybody's head. It's part of our construct. Either you're talking about nature or nurture or social. It's just who we are as human beings, social beings. We do get a sense of our significance from what it looks like to everybody else. It's called being social. It's called being a social being, right? It's part of our society, right? So nobody has to put it in your mind that you're thinking about marriage at 30. Does that mean you should now jump into stuff and start dating somebody that you know you're not in love with? This is why she's being held accountable, right? Even though I know it's much more complex than that. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation and then you start to find out that there's red flags, and it's not easy to just jump out of it. A lot of people are making comments like it's just easy to just jump out of it, right? So on one side, I'm like, yeah, if you as soon as you find out that you don't want to, you stop. It's okay to stop as soon as. Guess what? It's also true inside of marriage. As soon as you find out that this marriage is not a healthy situation I should be in, I don't care if you've been in it for 14 years, stop everything. Stopping everything does not mean you have to go and file for divorce, right? It's kind of similar to what I was saying on Auntie B's show earlier on too, about should Davido stop fighting to be in the life of his daughter? No, but it's okay for him to back off sometimes for his own mental health, so that Ali fight is saying, so that he can pull back, so he can get more power, get more wisdom, so he can, before continue to move forward, right? Oftentimes in anything we're trying to do in life, it's okay to back up a little bit, so you can see, so you can clear the cloud, so you can have some clarity, right? So it's very, very similar something. So even inside of marriage, when you find yourself in a situation that you feel like it's toxic, stop everything immediately. Particularly in terms of any conversation are you in a marriage, it's already stopped anyway. But stop yourself. All this, especially when it comes to all the gbas that comes with this type of toxic situation. Stop the bleeding. There's a whole chapter. The first chapter in our book is stop the bleeding. It's all about like stop, just stop. Like hold some peace. Peace, be still. So how much more that you're not really in the marriage yet? Of course, you should stop everything. So if that means you put the wedding on hold, you put the wedding on hold so you can have some clarity. Anyway, I wanted to add some context to what she said that started this story. Okay. So now some people started attacking her. But before I go into people started attacking her, let me read the one comment we have here. Shadi says, only in Nigeria they put age and time on getting married, and you see all these young men and men rushing in and flying out. So that's the downside of it. But the reality is that we have pressure on us with regards to society. It's not just marriage. We like to blame that on marriage. If you don't finish college at a certain age and it's always been on your heart that you want to finish university, you will be bothered. It's why? Because we kind of like you finish all of us kind of like finishing university between the age of 20 and 25 because of strike, tops 30, right? And if you have to go back, there's exceptions. If you decide to go back at 45 or 50, it's acceptable. But even you yourself say, pat myself on the back, this is not normal, but I'm going to do it. And it takes a lot, knowing that life is happening, right? We don't want to be pretending that time and age is not a thing. It is a thing. It's literally life itself. Okay? And also, it doesn't really help us conclude the right solutions when we pretend that nature is not there. Nature is always going to be there. And it's undefeated. It's literally truth. The truth is undefeated. It's only a matter of time. Same thing. Time, right? That it will catch up on you. And if you know that something is not happening, you have certain fear, you face it, okay? And you can face it with the help of support, as opposed to be in denial about it. So somebody said, only stock up. Some only stock up said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can break off your engagement. You don't have to get married. Okay, that was the thing that actually started it. You can break off your engagement. You don't have to get married if you know it's not right. Even if you have sent out the activities, bought the dress, planned the ceremony, you can walk away. I inherently agree with that. Okay, and that's when Ife responded with she broke off an engagement. So somebody said, wow, it must not have been easy. She responded, said it wasn't. Had to leave the country for a while to sit by the beach in Hawaii. Needed time alone to forgive myself. Now, does she live in Nigeria or here? Where did she go to Hawaii? Did she go from Nigeria to Hawaii? Because this must be a big scale type of thing, right? So somebody now came and tackled as a reply to that. Some Thomas Bright replied. And this person was like, you can deceive people with your lies, but not me though. Can you tell them how your sugar daddy threatened to stop funding your lifestyle if you marry ex-boyfriend? This person actually has a verified page. You want to make it as if he was the one at fault. You are a wicked person for real. I was like, wait, Kilagbe Kilaju. What's going on here? What is going on? Right? Before we continue that story, let me see what the comment says. The comment says, another person, thank you. Once those gender made allegations are about marriage, I know they listen until I hear from the other person. Women go kill you and still cry they love you here. If you need to hear from the other person before you can understand what's going on, let me be nice. If you need to hear from the other person before you know what's going on with this type of statement, you're a gender warrior. That's the nicest thing I can say. But obviously, I'm calling this person a gender warrior because they brought gender into it, right? Gentlemen, it's also okay for you to walk away from a situation that you know you've been looking for courage. It's not healthy. Just walk away now. And by the way, that doesn't have to be a permanent decision. But walk away, at least so you can have some clarity. Because yes, sometimes it can be confusing. Back in the day, they used to call it cold feet. When has that become a crime? Man, this is how you end up in trouble. You accuse the other gender of catching cold feet. Whereas you yourself, you know you don't feel safe. You know that relationship has not been healthy. But you hold your own feet to the fire that you must fulfill some stupid tradition when you know it's not right. But what, you're afraid that it's going to be the end of it. Well, guess what? It's going to end anyway. Anyway, it's the part of Allah. Why are you encouraging people to walk away from their marriage? Because it's toxic. I cannot teach them that it's toxic. If it's toxic, they should walk away. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a permanent decision. It might just be to go get some clarity, to clear your head. Anyway, somebody said, I pity the friends around this lady because she's ill-advised. He'll advise them against their promising marriages in the name. You cannot ill-advise a person against what they think is a promising marriage. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying right now? Is it me? What is going on here? Oh Lord, oh Lord.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, you don't want.
If a person feels like something is a promising marriage and somehow some external forces came and talked them out of it,
will you keep quiet?
Could make sense, could make logical sense go now. Can people be influenced? Yes, but not out of what they think is a promising marriage. Can they be on the fence and be influenced outside of it? Yes, but they're on the fence. Why would you want to marry that kind of person too? What are you afraid of? That you won't find another spouse? Maybe this is why they are trying to run away from you. Because you're operating from a place of fear. No wonder they want to run from you. Anyway.
They use your function to play.
Most times, ladies like this are, see when they say most times, they mean all the time. They're talking about all the time in their personal life. Most times, ladies like this are filled with inner battles and regret and will make sure no one around them is encouraged. Be wise. Anyway, once it is a woman, they start coming up with sugar daddy narrative. I have heard worse about people who are doing excellently well, and this nincompoops still had the guts to say they have sugar daddies. On this issue, you have to prove to us that Ife left the guy for a sugar daddy. I don't know. I'm just going, I don't need the other side of the story before I can hear what you're saying in your rhetoric. Okay, I'm going by these statements. Okay, at this point, it's no longer by Tife. We'll get back to her in a second. The lie didn't even hit. Say something else, bro. So I say, LOL. Nigerians are also thinking a sugar daddy or sponsor must always be behind every baby girl. Baby girl and sugar daddy is a big culture in Nigeria. Let's not cap about that. However, I can still read through your lips in words, black and white. Before you ever conclude on a woman's emotion-laden narrative, please hear from the other side, I beg. That's nonsense. If you need to hear from the other side before you know that all these comments are speaking from their personal hurts, majority of them, most at times. Before you ever conclude on a person, okay, of course the funding lifestyle BS will come out shortly enough. Well, because it's a pandemic in Nigeria, Nigerian girls have to survive. So if you don't do something about the economy, people do what they have to do. They will yield back to one of the oldest professions in the history of mankind. It is what it is. But because of that, you now run around and generalize every time somebody say they walked away from something. Tell me the rest of your story. Anyway, nothing interesting about these blogs anymore. Always men and women in one relationship or something entirely unhelpful. Our economy is folding up and this is what bothers you. I beg you, please, stop the cap. Relationship topics are hot for a reason, because you engage them with your comments. Thank you. If you get good woman, hold her tight and treat her right. And if any man tries to come in between, fight him. That's very stupid. Good women are scarce. Trust me. Actually, they're not. In your circle, yes, they are scarce. I agree with you. All right. And when they sue them for defamation, they start begging. Voila. Have you seen Tony Abraham collecting woto today? It's not about relationship and marriage, so I left it alone. We need to stay focused, right? These girls believe them at your own peril. Tell us the rest of your story to next. Everything is sugar daddy to these men. Puke. The fact that females in your household are handicapped doesn't mean other women are. Indiara. What is Indiara? Somebody teach me. I need to know it finally. I know it's something not nice. What is Indiara? Teach me. I need to know the not so nice words or phrases in Igbo. Women are innocent until proven guilty, while men are guilty until proven innocent. So do not always trust the word of a woman. But we should trust the word of that man that just dragged her, right? Is that what we should do right now? I'm asking for a friend. Anyway, that was that. So you would think they are done dragging her, right? No. They're not done. Somebody said, if I finish the explanation, oh. Why? Finish the explanation. By the way, you don't hold anybody explanations. Unless you are creating content, of course. Okay, this person said, hit the like button, thank you. This person said, I'm sure you told him you loved him prior to breaking off the engagement. This is a woman in this caption, by the way. So gender warrior doesn't mean that you are gender warrior the other gender. Sometimes you are gender warrioring you're gender fighting your own gender. Sometimes that's the case. Okay. All right. It just simply means that's a lens that you see life through. That's all. When you knew deep down in your heart that you were marrying him due to societal pressure, doesn't that make you untrustworthy too? Well, it makes emotions untrustworthy. Anybody can be in that position where they are making decisions off of their emotions, and eventually they catch themselves and say, you know what? It doesn't feel right. It's not just IFE. It's all of us. I know.
Stop the cap.
It's all of us. Stop the cap. You've never made a decision. You're like, I made that decision off of impulse. You're just always logical. Like a robot that you are, right? I know. But Ola, stop the cap too. Okay, I'll play it for myself. Hold on, wait.
Stop the cap.
Let me speak in third person. But Ola, you know that some of this, come on, you know that some of these ladies who are engaging marriage for the wrong reason. And they shouldn't be engaging marriage for the wrong reason.
Let be poor. Breathe.
Anyway, hit the like button. We just hit 50. Let's get it up to 60. Hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room. You didn't know. Let's see. Doesn't that make you untrustworthy too? Somebody said, okay, you didn't know he was a pathological liar and extremely untrustworthy. When he was paying for Ashoebi musicians' bills, dress, and other expenses, you couldn't stop him then and then tell him you are not interested in the marriage. You are such a joke. All right. I get it. I hear all of now. Okay. All right. Let's hold Ife accountable too. Okay. For all the people who should just quit as early as possible. You're right. We should hold them accountable. Let's hold them accountable real quick. Okay. Let's see.
You're right.
As soon as you know that you don't want to be with that person, okay, as soon as you know, no more than 2 days into it, you're right.
Please.
Right. As soon as you know, just quit. You're right. As soon as you know, just quit, Abby.
You think say they're wise?
Anyway, I agree with you. Okay. But as soon as you know, as soon as is the key word phrase. So, you knew she was a pathological liar, extremely unworthy. You couldn't stop him then and tell him you are not interested in the marriage, right? What about you getting to know people and then you find out over time? And then you're now trying to gain courage to ask them, please change, please change. I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. How long should that take? You have a rule for that? If you have a rule for it, tell us. Right? What about that? You just start to feel, shout out to Natu for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, Natu. I'll come to it in a second. Thank you. This is the most foolish take I have heard, somebody says. They're calling Ife a joke. I think all the people calling Ife a joke are the joke. I think you're putting yourself on a pedestal as a human being. And I think that's actually how you make the most mistakes, because you keep thinking, you have unrealistic expectations of yourself, and therefore you make more mistakes. But when you're self-aware and you know that human beings are human beings, you tend to make better decisions, because you also put boundaries in place for yourself. You also know that you're capable of mishaps as a human being, right? But when you just assume that, no, that could never be you, that's when you collect. That's when you get into problem now. Think about it. Just think, right? Somebody said, this is the most foolish take I've ever heard. Let's take it back a bit. Reverse. A man you are in love with led you on, proposed and jilted 2 weeks to the marriage. You asked for a reason. He said, I was never in love. Do you? How would you feel? Hey, that's the point. How would you feel if you gain some stupid courage and you go into that marriage, and then later on they still serve you the breakfast that you deserve? Because this mindset tells me you deserve breakfast as soon as possible. No, actually I take that back. As late as possible. Right? Which one do you prefer? As late as possible or as early as possible? These are the kind of people that deserve the breakfast they're getting. That's where they're speaking from. Anyway, I'm coming to the chat too. I must read the comments on this one. I must read the comment too. I have to. Somebody said, but is there anything bad in discovering yourself at any particular time or moment? She discovered herself, and that's the initial point of the tweet. You all might think she did the man bad, but no, she did him and herself good. A broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. I don't like that statement, but I get it. The early they serve you the breakfast, the better, Baba. Listen to me carefully. You too deserve soft life. I keep telling you. I think you hate yourself. The early they serve you breakfast, the better. It's supposed to hurt. Right? It's supposed to hurt like hell. But shout out to Ninja Turtle. They did you a favor. Don't you get it? Okay, you won't get it if you're in the situation. Granted. You're not supposed to get it because you're caught up in your emotions in that moment. But now, get it up front. When somebody comes to a place and they serve you breakfast, they did you a favor. Okay? You can cry. You get over it. Now seek help. If you notice a consistent pattern, people keep leaving you, then you need help. Seek the help that you need. Seek wise counsel. There's a reason for that pattern. Okay? It's a pattern for a reason. Anyway. The later the breakfast is eventually coming. The later the breakfast, the more it will hurt. Don't you get it? Anyway, I don't tell you. Somebody said, I wonder how people think something didn't feel good about a step she was about to take at some point. And what social media children think is how much the guy has spent on musician and all. What if Ife paid for everything herself? Now, wow, this is why most people just choose to keep all their stuff private. She actually did him a favor. If we are to look at it from another angle, they would have been both miserable in the marriage. But then, my heart goes out to whoever she's with now. Because how do you know she's not with you? Because she's now 30 plus. Another angle. Wala, 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 wala. These people.
Wala wala Nigeria.
If skin no full, no put body for internet to keep your life story to yourself, you better have thick skin. That's what's up. That's a real word. A broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. Oh, it's not better. Okay, it's the time that makes it better. Okay, so breakfast feels the same across the board. If you're on the receiving end of it, it will hurt more with time. If you're on the receiving end of it, but breakfast is breakfast at the end of the day. If somebody is feeling, if it's the same issue, the earlier they serve you that breakfast, the better. You can cry, get over it, fix yourself if there's a need for a fix, and move on to the right people. The more time you spend with the wrong people, the more time you spend away from the right people. No, you're right. You're not supposed to feel that if you're on the receiving end. You don't collect already. I'm talking about people ahead of time. If somebody comes to you and they said, I don't know. I think I just want to move on. I think we should call it quits. You just got served a premium breakfast. I know it hurts. Take a shower. Drink cold water or whatever temperature you like. Cry. After you finish crying, get it out. Take a nap. When you wake up, it will still hurt, but you feel a little better. Cry a little bit extra more. Now pick up the phone and seek wise counsel if you notice it's a pattern. While our actions are commendable, let me see here, and rare amongst some ladies these days, who we see red flags and still enter. It mustn't get to that edge of marriage. What's edge of marriage? What about 2 hours before the wedding? Before calling it a quit, when should it be? Earlier? Maybe later. I believe we can still break out without causing the other party so much loss. You see, they are concerned. All these people that don't chop breakfast tire, they are more concerned about the hurt that they felt when they chop breakfast. A loss. It is not a loss, it's a gain. That said, your actions, not necessarily the way you went about it, are commendable. It is good to spot a red flag and avoid, that's the person trying to play balance. No, as soon as you know, not possible, as soon as you know that it's not right, stop everything. Everybody go do all right. All the vendors, they go do all right. Somebody said, I was waiting for this. Jesus. One thing I've understood about women is that in everything, whatever wrong they do, they always look for a way to shift the blame on a man. All right, I see that part where they're saying she's shifting the blame on the man because she's calling the man, he was a pathological liar. Now, here's the real red flag. If you had an ex and you jump on social media and you're calling them by name a pathological liar, and you have very, very, very strong emotions about how bad they were, you are a red flag. You're a walking red flag. Okay? So that's to all the Ifes out there. If it's not true, change it. You should learn how to speak about your ex without dragging them with names. But that's really who they are. See, you missed it. You keep thinking it's about that person. It's about you. They'll always find reason and excuse why they did it, but it will never do the same. Try the switch. If the relationship was toxic, just call the relationship toxic. You as an individual was a part of a toxic relationship. The most powerful thing you can do, the most powerful way you can express how empowered you are, is to say, I was a part of a toxic relationship. I took part in a toxic relationship. It's extremely empowering. Because you stop making it about the other person, you regain your power back. You engage your power back in that manner. Right? And obviously you avoid all these trolls. Right? So, how bad was it? It was a toxic relationship. Trust me, it was a toxic relationship. Let people take their wild guess on who was toxic. Right? So, self-accountability is very hard. That's what I'm saying here. It's very hard. Engage it. It's your biggest fear. You thought it was the other person's fault. You thought you're not crazy. You're still not crazy. But you were part of a toxic relationship. That's a fact. According to you. But you're putting the focus on your oppressor. Even long after they left you, you allow them to continue to oppress you. Do you get it? Okay.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
Somebody said men do this with ease. Why is she being bashed? Is a failed relationship not better than a failed marriage? No, it is not. Okay, there's no breakfast that's free. Everybody collects, and you are taking that trauma. If you don't work on yourself, you take that trauma, the effect, the remnants, the residuals of that breakfast will enter your next relationship. Okay, at an emotional level, none is better than the other. Okay, it's just breakfast, and you can make it more of a big deal than it is if you want. All right. So that's why some people having a hard time letting go of a toxic marriage, because they think you should have broken off our relationship. No, this is the now. This is the beginning of the rest of your life. Cry as soon as possible. Easier said than done. Cry. Get over yourself. Okay? Get over yourself. You might just find out that it's not over. Maybe you just need some help with the marriage. You can never satisfy human beings. Always remember to do you, and every other person will be fine. That's a fact. I do not care if you're in front of a priest. If you do not think you can commit in the marriage, walk away. Do not say vows you have no intentions of keeping. Guess what? Even after you say the vow, that vow will go collect. Don't stay inside of a toxic relationship 1 second more. Seek help. Okay? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It was easy for her to make the decision because it's not her money. And now when you are fully ready to settle down, just make sure that Jesus Christ though, because if the same guy, is she still single? She's not yet married? I don't know. If that Jesus Christ though, because if the same guy come to social media, the story is going to be different from our own story. Yes, because people have different experiences inside of the same relationship. And that's just what it is. It's not necessarily always somebody's lying. They just have two different experiences. Okay? The guy is like, I was taught to just fight until I buy. The girl said, I already buy. It's over. It's two different experiences. Why I'd never put my private matters on social media, never see them bingos wanting to swallow her alive. She's a social media person. She can handle it. I think she can handle it. Don't you think? Anyway, so that's IFE's story over the past few days. I thought there was a lot of lessons in that we can learn. All right. So first affair, go down low. Let's first of all dance to this right here. Shout out to Natu for this super chat. All right, thank you. She said, MOP, I greet you specially. I never see prestige people order for oils or anywho. Thank you for all you're doing. Please support Natu. Natu is offering a free promotion, not free, a promotion. She sell oil. Do you have oil? Oil fragrance. I think that's what they call it. Let me find her banner here. Please support Natu. That's our information. You can find her on Instagram. Qualisa Inc. Natu, feel free to drop the link in the chat so they can click over there. It usually will pop up in another page. Home of Quality and Style, RTW. She keeps reminding me whatever that is. Business and Casual Perfume, Oils, Shoes, Accessory on Instagram. So please support Natu. Thank you, Natu, for sponsoring this show. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go to, let me see where we are. Okay, we already covered that. Let's see. Should an able-bodied adult be asking another adult? Says smart. $16,000 is not your mate, oh. Okay, I'm up to speed. So it depends on the term of the marriage. Okay, this is talking about the stuff from the previous story. I'm just trying to catch where I'm at on the chat. India is crazy people. Oh, okay, that's making sense. Mad people, weary people. India. Okay, what about Onyoshi? Onyoshi or Onyara? It's Ara people. Wait, it's Ara people. I think I figured something out. It's Ara people. Hey, babe, what's up?
Hi, Daddy.
What's up, baby? Sorry, guys. I was interrupted a little bit. Not so easy. Every girl living her best life have to be funded by a sugar daddy. That's what they say. Oh, that's Nigerians. I never expect. I see Uncle Patrick like that sound effect.
I never expected it.
So, do they even understand how much she makes from that her page? What is her page? How many people she has? Let me see how many monitoring spirits she has. This girl is doing well though. Whatever she's doing. 700. That's more than 500,000. Between 500,000 and 1 million followers. I beg. Most sugar daddies cannot afford what she can bring in herself. Maybe they're claiming she started like that, right? If I'm the guy and she calls me a pathological liar, I will say she's telling the truth. It will flip everything. I'm a serial truth teller. Wahala. She thanked the Lord. Everyone is saying money. Okay, so she's single now, right? Itao says, hello MOP, please, if I should call you on WhatsApp, how many minutes would it be? Cause would like to share and ask advice from you. Okay, first of all, prepare to invest in yourself. Second of all, understand that I am offering a 30 minutes complimentary coaching session. It's designed for me to hear your story, to make sure that you are a fit for our program. Then third of all, send me a text message first. Don't just call, because I'm usually between sessions. If I'm not on this show or on TB show, I'm usually between sessions and helping the paid clients. Okay, so please, but I will look forward to it. It's 30 minutes, and if I don't have any sessions right after yours, I usually don't count the time, even if it's complimentary session. Okay, and many of my clients can testify to that. Well, no, they can't, because they are. I think the only person that told the whole world is Natu. I don't tell on my clients, because these are their private life, and I don't usually put their name or information out there. Okay, but yes, I don't really look at time. Outside of, obviously, I have some back-to-back sometimes. If I'm a famous person, the stories will be storing. You'll be storing, right? Because you are the heartbreaker, Bumi, right? They'll be telling on you everywhere. Everyone was using the other discount code? Oh, the discount code. Oh, okay. We don't have a discount code here. Just reach out to her. It's been long you played this song. That dance cracked me up. Yeah, play it now because, you know, we don't really get that much super chat anymore. But the views are viewing, so that worked for me too. Ara is mad or crazy. Oh, so Onyoshi, Onyara. So Onyoshi, Onyara. What's Onyoshi? Onyi is people. Wait. Onyi, you is Onyi. No, I'll figure it out. Somebody will help me later on. No worry. Onye Oshi is thief. Onye is person. I knew it. I was getting there somewhere. Ara is madness. So Onyara is a person who is mad. Indiara is mad. Indi is people. Yeah. That was both the princess and the queen. 700,000. Anyway, so that's the first story there. Ultimately, I think I don't think I think you should walk away as soon as you find out. I don't think one breakfast is better than the other. Heartbreak is heartbreak at an emotional level. I think if somebody broke up with you, they did you a favor. At least that should be your mindset. If you don't think that's your mindset, you will become one of these Indiara people. Every time they see somebody broke up with somebody, they'll drag them anyway. Okay? You don't want to be another Indiara on the internet because you don't know how to handle breakfast. The best of us have collected breakfast. Some of us are better with handling it than the others. Some people cannot get over the breakfast from GSS2. Right? So every time somebody says somebody broke up with them, they feel the pain. I know. I feel for them, but it's not helpful to stay in that space. Seek the help that you need. They did you a favor. You have to let go. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if they did it early or later or anything like that. I don't care if it was a temporary situation. Something was wrong with the relationship. That should be your conclusion, and you should let go. Okay? Let go of it. All right. So do me a favor. I'm going to ask you a question now. We're going to pretend you did not watch the video at all. Most of the people that comment, they didn't watch the video. All right, so let me ask you the question. How soon should a person who does not feel right about a relationship break up? Earlier or later? Or just before the wedding? What are your preferences? Let me know. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Okay, check out this next segment. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.